Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. So with mobile phones taking the place of some consumer cameras, how can you improve your mobile photography skills? Well, that's with an app that I kind of bashed a little while ago. It's not very good, but the stock app of camera phones is never really very good. It's usually very, very basic and you can never really take full control. Even here on my Samsung, I can take manual control of video, yes, but I like time lapses. So how can we take full manual control of a time lapse? Now, there are only a few features that you can change, such as the shutter speed, the frame rate, and the ISO. You will not be able to change your aperture because they have a fixed aperture. Unless you got an S9, I believe they had a changeable aperture. You could go from like an f2 to an f1.8 or something like that. So I would advise getting one of these. And yes, you can get these for your mobile. So this, what I'm using right now, is called an ND filter, a neutral density filter. And what it does is it turns an image like that. Same settings, but I'm blown out into an image like that. Let's just put that back on. So I would advise you to get an ND filter for your phone, but you don't really need one if you don't really want to get one. So it's down to you, but it will make it look better. So why don't we go into the ProTake app and we'll get started. Although I will say actually before I go into this, there's a few extra things that I'm using. And to be honest, one of them you probably should be using as well, and that is a tripod. This is a Manfrotto one. I've done a review on this. You can have a look if you want. They're pretty good. You can pick them up for about 20 quid, maybe a little bit more if you want the phone mount. I don't have the phone mount because I've got this with me. This is a DJI Osmo phone gimbal. This will help keep my phone stable, basically no matter what I do. Again, I've done a review on this as well. Go check it out. Right, so here we are in the ProTake app. Yes, you do have to pay for this app, I will be honest, it's about £15, but you do get quite a lot of features. Although my gimbal isn't really stabilizing my device very well, just so you'll have to kind of deal with that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into FPS and I'm going to go into time-lapse mode. I'm going to turn it on, and I've already set that up actually, 3 frames per second, which means that that's exactly what it will do. 3 frames every second. And I'm going to move back and I'm going to change, I think, let's go to that. I can't remember where that part is. Yeah, this gimbal is really not liking how heavy my phone is, although look at that focusing. I'm sorry, but that is amazingly good. So I think we will just plant this down. And what it should do, and then we'll put that about there, and we'll push record. So there is something else that you can do with this same function. Now I have left my gimbal over there with the rest of my equipment. God, that focus is so good on this phone. Yeah, I've left my gimbal over there, so I'm just hand holding this. One hand, two hand, I can shake it. It's not going to be stable, so it's going to be only as good as I can keep it still. But what you can do is you can create something called a hyperlapse. And that is exactly what we're going to do. A hyperlapse is basically just a moving time lapse. So why don't we create one? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our settings, and I've set it to 0.5 frames per second, which means a 5-minute shooting will be 20 seconds of footage, because anything else will be just too quick. And I'm going to try and actually walk as slow as possible, because this is the first time? This isn't the first time that I've tried to record this segment part. So I'm going to walk as slow as possible, trying to keep it as stable and as steady as I can. As you can see, it is actually recording. Now, do bear in mind that this does have optical image stabilization inbuilt, but it probably isn't really the best. Oh, I must tell you, I still have kind of a cold. Well, not really much of a cold, I just got the sniffles still. You can see every footstep, which is why I do like using a gimbal. Sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called then. Ooh. Just trying to walk as slowly as possible. Just because this will be sped up. Now, I actually can't really see the screen. I'm just kind of trying to keep it steady and walking as much as I can. I think we'll stop here, and I think we'll head back. Again, just trying to keep it as steady as possible. If you're wondering what them green lines are, that is the focus, so I know what is in focus and what isn't in focus. Kind of like zebra lines, they're green lines, just so I know what's in focus. I have actually sped up there accidentally, whoops. Again, trying to keep it as slow as possible. And I think we will stop just here. So there we go. So that's how you can make a time lapse, a hyperlapse on your mobile and make it look pretty damn good. Anyway guys, my battery's about to go, so I will see you in the next one.